Heresy has concluded, most of it for this week at least. But a new lore entry details the deep reaching out to Sloane in our final missions. The power of Willbreaker and this taken energy was too much. We'll also discuss the events that have transpired this week, my thoughts on the story overall, and where it may lead in the future. The big chunk of Heresy's story has concluded. Now, I obviously have no idea, but my bet is there's going to be something more for sure. Either an epilogue or at the end of this act. I'm not sure how many days we have left, I'm sure months. Whatever we get might not be much, but it might be something. We have Rite of the Nine coming, and it only feels right that there's some story stuff with that too. It does feel kind of strange for this week though. I think we should have had some Eris dialogue at least to close things off, but we'll see. Today though, we have a new lore piece that further explains the new mysterious god and its connection to Sloane during our mission. It's titled Hellebore and gives us some extra story insight. So let's take a look at this card first. Close. It had been too close. The knowledge of the shape of the knife held out to her had burned itself into Sloane's mind. She could see it even now, though its weight did not bow the fabric of her thoughts as it had. "I am pleased you returned to us safely," Eris said close by, very close. Sloane startled back, surprised that Eris had come so near without Sloane hearing her. "Your loss at this stage would be catastrophic." Sloane's exhalation was half a laugh. "You have a gift for your understatement," she said to cover how rattled she truly was by the experience of reforging Willbreaker. Eris's mouth flickered, the ghost of a smile there and gone again. This close, Sloane thought. She looked pale, paler, strained. Containing the echo was wearing on her. "Do you hear it still?" Eris asked. Yes, Sloane admitted. If she was compromised, it was her responsibility to be honest about it. A moment later, remembering, her gaze flicked over Eris's shoulder to where the echo hung, roiling with its own power, suspended in the grasp of Eris's magics. "Not sure I want to talk about this here." "He cannot hear us," Eris said simply, as if she had thought it and the matter was done. Honestly, that was probably the exact case. That was the nature of a throne world. Cautiously, Sloane experimented with relaxing her shoulders. It made her feel as if she might collapse at any slight gust, so she tightened them again. "What it offered me," she said abruptly. "Bulwark against despair. To never fear that I would be so overcome as to fall. But that would be falling in itself." "Yes," Eris said, in echo of Sloane's earlier assent. Her trifold gaze was intense, searching. "We feel foolish when we come back to ourselves, for the choices we almost made. We laugh and say how stupid we were. Of course that was wrong. Of course we would never." Sloane's mouth tasted like ash. "I think that offer's always going to be there," she said, quiet. So quiet that nagging fear that created the way in. "Asa has my back, but if I wake up one day and just choose to jump into that abyss, she's my ally, my partner, but an anchor doesn't do any good if the ship cuts the line. Choose not to," again and again. Eris's smile was softer, even sympathetic. "Someday, you may find it valuable to let that knife rest where you may reach it, because you know you will not. Trust yourself, Deputy Commander Sloane, as I trust you, even when you are infuriating." "It's my job," Sloane cracked weakly. Her ribs were a cage with the door opened, suddenly letting breath back in. She hadn't had that slow, methodical proof with Asa. She had a moment, a prayer, and no alternative. Maybe Eris wasn't entirely wrong. That unspeakable risk back then had saved her. Those feelings, Eris still regarded her with that searching intent. In that pit, those feelings are not false simply because we may look back on them later and laugh. Remember that. Sloane would. Sloane was really against Eris's plan for most of this episode. In those early weeks, she wanted to use Willbreaker right away to just destroy the Echo, which we actually did in the end. In that card though, she mentioned she still feels something reaching out through the Taken. She feels uneasy with the reconstruction of Oryx's sword alongside it. The phrase mentioned in the lore and also in-game was bulwark against despair. The Deep offered to protect Sloane, protect her from ever feeling hopeless or broken again. It offered to protect her from pain, but as she says, accepting that would mean she'd already lost. Wipe out anything with a living will in there that isn't you. The Deep made me an offer once, and it hasn't forgotten. Something's still reaching out, but I'm the one in control here. There is a knife for me. It is shaped like bulwark against despair. No.
The brittle steel breaks. Breathe deep. Hold gentle. Guardian, destroy the Taken!
A new shape. I refuse. Don't have to take an offer just because someone makes it. I have this. Be right with you, Guardian. As for the main story, the Echo of Oryx has been destroyed, but the sisters still remain. Xivu out there somewhere, we just fought her minion in this mission, and Savathun potentially the angriest she's ever been. Savathun was like, wait a minute, I've helped you when you needed it most, against the Witness. All I wanted from you was to leave me and my family alone here, but yet you couldn't even do that.
You just can't stop meddling, can you? You Guardians destroy everything you can't control. Now I have a warning from my favorite Guardian. Stay away from my brother's dreadnought. Stay away from my sister. This is a family matter. And nothing is gained by making an enemy of me. I think Eris would agree. Now leave. We are finished, Guardian. All slates wiped clean. No more old time's sake. You and I, we are not friends. Universe preserved. Witness dead. All that you begged me for, I have given. And it's still not enough for you, is it? All I asked was for you to stay away from my family matters. A simple request. My brother, dead. May all that you desire ever be stolen from your grasp. And if the cold and unfeeling universe does not see to it, then I certainly will. Goodbye, Traveler's Pet. Don't wait up.
So the sisters remain. Will we fight them again someday? I could definitely see it unless they straight up leave after these events. This is sort of one gripe I have with Heresy. I thought Xivu was supposed to be more at the forefront and we would sort of end some of these big threads with these sisters, unless that happens somehow next week. But currently things still seem open, especially on Savathun's side of things. Now I understand maybe some story elements had to be changed around given the voice actors and Xivu's voice actor, but it does make you wonder as a fan of the lore. And while Xivu was a threat and has been the bigger of the hive threats over the last couple of years, episode Heresy was really about the three of them, their heresies, and ultimately stopping this third and final Echo. Speaking of the Echo, it was destroyed.
At least the stars will remember the shape I gave them.
From a player perspective, it was kinda sad, because this character was actually really cool. The voice actor killed it, giving voice and meaning to an already cool villain, but one that wasn't really fleshed out too much in the game 10 years ago. Oryx had lines back then, but nothing compared to the ones we have now, calling us king.
I am the Waiter, Death Charter, first among navigators, and I am Prey!
Story-wise, it kind of needed to happen though. The power of pulling the Ascendant Plane through reality is kind of a big issue, among other things. And if we didn't destroy him, what, would we have Savathun and Xivu constantly trying to invade Eris's throne to get him back? Maybe there could have been other ways, like sealing Oryx away in Eris's throne forever. But no matter what you do, some players are going to be upset. In the end though, I think it's the right decision given the power the Echo contained. If we were able to split it like Eris wanted, that would have been cool, having Oryx and Echo separate. Maybe we get to keep Oryx and then do something else with the Echo, but yeah. Erisborn and Drifter also have a nice conclusion in a lore card, which I'm making another video on. But overall, Heresy was and is a way better episode than Echoes and Revenant in my opinion. The story had more interesting moments, lore drops, and mysteries to look forward to week after week. I hope we get some info about the silent voice in the deep next week, or a cutscene soon. Anyway Guardians, that's all we got for today's video. If you'd like to see some more Destiny news, lore, and mysteries just like it, please be sure to subscribe to the channel. I thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next video.